I'm going to spend the next 100 days in Hytale Skyblock. The goal is to create the most aesthetic island possible. This is the very first time I've played Skyblock, so it's definitely going to be interesting. Thank you to Hyblock for sponsoring this video, but more on that at the end. Let's get started. So to start our Skyblock adventure, we're just going to run straight into this portal, and this is our island. As you can see, there is nothing else except this little island we're floating on. Now these are the items we get to start with. 4 tree saplings, 8 bags of wheat, and of course a farmer's workbench, which is going to become extremely valuable for us. Before I do anything, I want to clear up all of this island, so we're going to start by chopping this tree and then pretty much just annihilate all this dirt, which I know is going to take a long time, but this is going to be extremely important because obviously Hytale is still in early access, so the only way to expand our island and get ourselves unique blocks is going to be by making money. And to make money, I need farms, and to make farms, I need dirt. So I'm going to get as much as I can from the start so we can start a decent island. Now destroying all of this dirt with a wooden pickaxe is definitely taking its time. But like I said, if we do want to expand our island and get some cool blocks, I'm gonna need to make a bunch of money. And you can see already, I haven't even finished this top level. We've already got 50 blocks of dirt, which is huge, because that means 50 extra crops I can grow at the exact same time. I did not think that chest was gonna break, oh my goodness. We have got lava and water, but right now I don't quite know if that's going to be super useful. But am I able to reach down here? Oh, I can. We can start expanding our island already. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the plan. Let's place down this bad boy right there. So we have the farmer's workbench. We do need to try and level it up as much as we can, but I am going to create a cobblestone generator right over here so that we can get some cobblestone, which is 3 blocks without having to spend any money. So it's the exact same way as in Minecraft, pretty much just like this. Chuck the lava, chuck the... Hold on, I've done this wrong. Okay, it's good. You have infinite lava. Oh my goodness. So you can just keep filling in the lava no matter what. At least you can't mess that up. That is so helpful. Okay, but let's try that again. Water first, then the lava, which makes cobblestone. And unlimited cobblestone, which is exactly what we need. Okay, we have 10 cobblestone, so I'm going to create a little platform out here just so I don't waste the dirt. And I will also move the farmer's workbench out here as well, just so we have a little platform to work off. I'm going to get a little bit more just so I can make the platform a little bit larger. I'm going to build this out this way and then come out here, place a dirt and then a beach sapling so we can get some trees. I should try and plant this one as well. So let me grab a little bit more cobblestone once again. There we go. Now we have 10, so we can expand this a little bit. Let's go 3. And then on the 4th one, we'll create another little thingy-majiggy out this way with another beach sapling. Beautiful. So they're going to grow and hopefully we can get some extra logs because I do think logs are going to be very important. But I guess since we don't really need any more cobblestone, let's go ahead and fill this in. Because we still do have the infinite lava and water, we can break this cobblestone and then continue to just harvest up this area. Like I said earlier, the main goal is to create the most aesthetic island possible. And to do that, we're going to need to get ourselves a bunch of crop, which is fantastic because farming is the best thing in this game. I love it so much. So being able to farm to grow our island is such an awesome idea. I love it. Okay, I've dug out a decent section. What I'm going to do now is pretty much plow up all of this land here and plant all of the seeds that we have. We only get 8, so I'd want to get them down now just so we can start expanding how many we have. Now we also get a watering can and a fertilizer bag, so I can go ahead and fertilize these crops to get them growing a little bit quicker. And then if I just place down maybe some water here, I should be able to fill this watering can up and water the plants as well. So that's going to increase that by 4.5 times. So the watering can increases 2.5 times faster while the fertilizer bag does too. While we're at it, I might as well place down my little bed there. And while I'm waiting for all of that wheat to grow, I'm just going to continue digging. Look how fast it's already growing. Oh my goodness, that is incredible. Looks like the crops are almost in the final stage and this is how much digging I have remaining. We are almost there. Oh my goodness. But you can see I have 141 dirt. That is huge. We're going to be able to create some massive farms right off the bat without without even needing to purchase any extra dirt. This is going to be very helpful for us. And there we go. The island is cleared. Let's sleep the night away. And in the morning, not only is this tree half ready, but our crops are good to go. So let's harvest these crops up. We got 15 wheat, 25 essence of life. Oh, and we got a eternal bag. Oh my goodness, that is huge. I'm going to smack that down right away. And then pretty much just make all. So that gives us 12. So I can go ahead, plant this down, and then expand the farm by 4. Beautiful. So now our farm is getting bigger, but we have 160 dirt ready to expand it. Now with this wheat that we got, we can sell it, but I do need 5 of it. So I can only really sell 10. But if we type in /shop, we can sell the wheat for $1 each. So now we have $10, which you can see on the right hand side. Of course, as you get higher level crops, you're going to get more money. So the goal is of course to get up to onion and potato. And then we can buy blocks for pretty much $50 each. So the goal is to get as much money as we can so we can build a very nice building and have some very nice farms as well. But for the next upgrade, we do have the wheat ready to go. We also have the logs ready to go. I just need to farm up some cabbage. So we can do that next. And of course, I need more essence of life. Now, while I'm waiting for this, I am going to create another cobblestone generator. I'm also going to place down a chest just so I have a place to store things I don't necessarily need right now. And while I'm waiting for this to grow, I'm just going to harvest up some cobblestone. And I might have gotten a little bit carried away. We have 173 cobblestone and all of this wheat is good to go. So we can just chop all of this down and then this time craft up all into lettuce bags, which gives us 21. So I'm going to place all of this down and that increases the size of our farm by 9. Oh my goodness, we are getting a big farm already. This is looking good. This time we got 26 wheat, but instead of selling it, I'm going to save it this time because once we level up to tier 2, I can go into this section here and sell the wheat for essence of life. So once I have 50 and I harvest up these cabbages, I'm going to be able to upgrade that and we'll be able to start getting some new crops, which is going to make us even more money. But since I do have 173 cobblestone now, I do think it is important for me to go ahead and expand the island and add in a third tree because I do think trees are going to be important for us. And I'm pretty sure we have a seed bag. Do we just place this down? No, do we have to place this in here? Okay, but can we break this? Yes. Okay, so you place the seed bag and then that gives you a sapling when you break it. So now we technically have an extra 4. So let's smack that bad boy there. Oh, this is an oak sapling as well. That is amazing. So that's going to give us a second type of log, which I do think we need for the tier 2 farmer's workbench to upgrade to tier 3. So in fact, instead of just leaving it like this, maybe I do another one over here, just like that. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, we have 4 trees growing now. Hopefully these grow into the major or the normal log types because right now that doesn't look very promising. But our island is coming along very well. Let's go ahead and expand the dirt a little bit. And to be honest, this is looking pretty good to me. I'm liking this. The cabbage is growing very fast. It just needs to go through one more stage and then we'll be able to harvest it. So I guess until then, let me just fill all this in. Since we do have a ton of cobblestone anyway, I might as well use it. And I don't really need that water there, so let's go ahead and fill that in. But there we go. A very nice large island already, and we have barely even gotten started. We still have 130 dirt as well, so I can probably expand this way a bit, but I don't really want to make the island ugly. And we have a decent square right now, so I think it's important to start with this. But the wheat has grown. Boom, I don't even need to replant that. Beautiful. And the lettuce is ready, so let's go ahead and harvest this all up, which gets us 21 lettuce, a lettuce eternal bag, beautiful, and 67 essence of life, which means we can now go ahead and upgrade to tier 2, and we can go ahead and craft all of this wheat and lettuce into essence of life, which gives us 88. Now, in order to upgrade to tier 3, we are going to need to buy some birch log, which is 150 each. We need 10. So that is $1,500 we need to get. We also need corn and carrot, but thankfully we can now craft up carrot and corn. So let's start with all into carrot, which gives us 29. And we are still expanding our farm, even though it's a more expensive crop. Look at that. That is phenomenal. Make sure to water and fertilize the crops so that they grow nice and quickly. And this beech tree is fully grown, so let's go ahead and chop this bad boy down. We did not get a sapling that time, unfortunately, but we do still have the oak sapling, so we can go ahead and place that down. And honestly, this is coming along pretty well. Now, my goal is to fill in this entire dirt area that we have here with the farms. So I will need to remove this. We can always make another one in the future. future very easily. And there we go. We have a huge section here ready to go now. The wheat is ready. The lettuce is almost ready. I really want to get as many eternal bags of seed as I possibly can, but just look at these carrots growing. Oh my goodness, this is looking good. Another thing that we need to try and get is the crude sickle, which increases how quickly we can harvest the crop. This does require workbench tier 3, so once we unlock this, we should be able to get this, which is going to speed up our farming by a lot. It's not useful right now because of how small our farm is, but as it grows, it's going to become even more useful. But I will go through and start preparing these because I do think once I harvest these carrots, we're really going to see a massive expansion because it's almost like it's doubling each time in terms of the total size of our farm. And look at that, the crops are now popping. Oh my goodness. I just need to make sure that I water them in time because the watering doesn't last forever. But that is our first set done. We got 23 and 115 essence of life. So we can go ahead and craft up all into the corn, which gives us 38. Oh my goodness. And that wasn't even a full harvest either. And the other carrots have finally happened. That took a lot longer than when the crops were watered. So I need to make sure I keep them watered. Otherwise it's going to take a very, very long time. But that gives us another 28 or 9 extra corn. I'm also going to go ahead and plow up this land here, and I'm just going to keep farming until this entire area is filled in. And ladies and gentlemen, the farm is completely filled in, and while I was editing, I just continued to plant and harvest these crops up, so I have over 1,000 corn. So let's go ahead and harvest all of this up. I also noticed on the right hand side, you can see we're getting harvesting XP. So there are a bunch of skills that you can level up. So if we go into the harvesting, we're level 14. So we can get harvesting luck. Let's pick that one and let's go with max health. Now when we hit level 15, we can go ahead and do another one. I think I'm going to go for harvesting luck again. Do we get level 15 right now? No, we've only just hit level 14. So it's going to take another harvest to be able to get level 15. And then we're going to get some extra luck, which will be very nice. But there we go, that's the farm done. Now I just need to get the wood to upgrade to tier 3, but thankfully you can buy stuff from players. So this is a player on the server who is selling logs. So I'm going to make sure that I sell my corn. I'll sell 500 for now, which gets us $1,000. And now we can buy 10 birch logs from this fella for 300, which allows us to upgrade to tier 3. And now we have access to cauliflower and also turnip. Now I'm not sure what log this is, it's not showing me, but let's see if it is oak because we have a massive oak tree right here. So we'll chop that down. We got 26. Is that the log we need? It is. Oh my goodness. We're going to be able to get tier 4 straight away. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get 50 turnip and I'm going to get 50 cauliflower. We're going to plant all of this down straight away, just like that. And we do need to water all of this up. So let's go ahead and water it. As soon as I water these crops, they instantly grow. That is just how powerful a water bucket is. Now, I do need to quickly craft up 2 greater essence of life just for the tier 4, but that is ready. And since we have a ton of crops remaining, I'm going to go into the shop and sell it all. And there we go. That is everything sold. And as you can see, we have $2,808. Also, now that we've hit level 3, we should be able to create a crude sickle. So let's go ahead and get that, and it can be used to harvest multiple crops in a single swing. So once these cauliflowers are ready, we're going to be able to test it out. Now I'm sure you can tell the farm is getting a little bit constricted. We definitely need to make it larger to make it more efficient. So once we level up to tier 4 on this farmer's workbench, I think that's going to be the next step. And here we go. So I don't think we press F. No, we have to, yes, if we just click, look at that. You just hold it down and it harvests all the crops. But just have a look at how nice this is. Oh my goodness. That definitely makes harvesting so much quicker, like insanely fast. Now we can upgrade to tier 4 just like that. Super easy. And that unlocks both pumpkin and eggplant, which if we sell in here gives us $4 instead of the 3 that the cauliflower and turnip gave us. But we did hit the next level, so let's go ahead and upgrade to our next reward. Let's get harvesting luck again, plus 5%. Beautiful. And we'll plant all the extra bags of crops that we have, and then I'm gonna make a huge amount of pumpkin because I enjoy making pumpkins. Pumpkins are very cool. And that is the entire thing already filled in. Beautiful. Now for this main build, I have an idea. This is going to be the main island. I want the house in the middle surrounded by a circle of crops. So in order to do that, I need to create a massive circle. So I guess let's start all the way out here. Let's build out a little bit, maybe about here. And I'm going to go 5. Then I'm going to go in, then I'm going to go 4, then I'm going to go 3, then 2, then 1. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing. Maybe I'll do another one. Hold on. Just one more. Then we'll go 2 again. Then we'll go 3. Then we'll go 4. And then we'll go 5. Just like that. So you can't really see it right now, but this is a quarter of a circle now. So I just need to repeat this design and it should create a very perfect circle for us. Now I've done the second side and it looks like it lines up pretty well. So now let's head back in. Once again, we'll go 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 1, then 2, then back up to 3, and we'll continue until we hit the middle. And I am out of dirt. I can't actually create the entire circle just yet. However, this is going to be a very large circle for the very first one, but keep in mind there will be a nice big building in the middle. Now I guess since these trees have already grown, let's go ahead and chop this one down. It chopped both of them and I lost a huge amount of log. That's my bad for putting them so close to each other. But I guess an important thing to note with the oak saplings, when you plant them, it deletes the dirt. But if we go into the shop, we go to block, we can buy grass for $50 each. So if I was to buy 25, it would cost $1,250. But I think for the sake of growing our empire, we need to invest a little to be able to make more money in the future. So we'll go ahead and plant this grass down around the farm just so I can go ahead and expand it. We've already got the circle kind of set up, so we don't necessarily need to finish the circle right now. The main thing is making more money, which we're going to be able to do with all these crops here. So we'll harvest all these pumpkins with our crude sickle. Dude, this is so nice. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to harvest crops normally again. This thing is just insane. We got 89 pumpkins from that. So let's go ahead and craft up a huge amount of pumpkin seed bags once again and just start planting them down. I'm gonna need even more. Oh my goodness. Now we do have 95 pumpkins, so if we sell that, that's gonna give us $380, which is not the best, but the important thing is that we continue to expand. Now I do still have $1,900, so I can afford to buy 38 grass. So let's do that. Expand our farm, plow up the land, and I should probably sell these things for some essence of life because I am desperately needing it. So let's do that for now. That gets us back up to 488. So I should probably craft up a bunch of eggplant as well. I did all by accident. I didn't actually mean to do that. I'll plant this down and then I might as well plant around the edge as well because I mean this is dirt that I should have probably used to expand the farm, but I just wanted to make sure that I created a perfect circle first. For some reason that was a priority for me. But let's not forget to go ahead and water all the land and also add in the fertilizer. And after watering and fertilizing everything, these are already ready. So let's go ahead and chop these bad boys up. Dude, look how satisfying this is. I love this so much. This is incredible. Now to upgrade to tier 5, we need redwood. We also need 3 greater essence of life, which we have. So let's go ahead and make that. And since I have basically no essence of life remaining, I'm going to use these eggplant seeds, and then for the remainder I'm going to craft up a bunch of corn, so 109 bags. Oh my goodness, I'm going to plant this all down just so that I can fill in the remainder. Now I do need 30 redwood logs, but fortunately our friend sells them for $25 each. So if you want to buy these, we need $750. So let's start by selling the pumpkin. I can sell 71 right now, which puts us at 322. Now I guess we'll just wait for all of this to grow. And just like that, all of the crops are done. So I should be able to harvest all of this. Oh my goodness. Have a look at how effortless this is. This crude sickle is insane. I love it so much. This just makes this whole process so nice. Apparently I missed some fertilizer and water. Okay, these things haven't even grown yet. That's how powerful it is, man. You gotta make sure you water and fertilize your crops. So we got 3 eternal eggplant and 1 pumpkin. Now I still do have 60 corn, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant this stuff just because it's cheap, nice and easy, and you get multiple corn every time you break one. So I think it might actually be even better than selling like pumpkin. In fact, let me go ahead and craft up a bunch of this and we'll just fill in the entire farm with it. I crafted up so much, but I still didn't have enough. This farm is getting big, man. There's a little bit of watering that needs to be done, but that is everything good to go. Oh my goodness, hold on. No, there's more. The land is literally becoming unwatered right now. So there's little spots popping up like that. Oh my goodness. But we just need to get the logs and then we can upgrade. So let's sell all of our corn for $314. Let's sell 90 pumpkins for $360. Then let's go ahead and buy some redwood logs. We need 30 and then we can upgrade. Oh no, I sold 1 extra pumpkin. How did I do that? I messed that up so bad. Oh my goodness. I need to craft up 5 5 more pumpkins and I've got 1 growing. I can't believe I messed that up. I probably should have sold the turnip. That is so bad, man. But the corn is ready. Let's go ahead and chop this down. Just look how easy and convenient this is, dude. This is insane. I love it. And the pumpkin is ready as well. Beautiful. So we can go ahead and upgrade. Just like that. We now have access to chili and tomato, which sell for $5 each. We also got an extra bag of eternal corn seed, but we do have 21 corn. So let's go ahead and place those down. And for the tier 6, we require cedar, which thankfully our guy is also selling for 30 bucks. But we need 40 this time, so we need $1,200. Thankfully though, from one harvest of corn, we got 1,256. We can also sell the eggplant for 200, and we also hit level 20, so we can go ahead and claim our harvesting luck plus 6%. I believe the harvesting luck gives you a higher chance to get eternal bags of seed, which is certainly what I want to do. But for now, let's continue harvesting up some chili bag. They are very expensive, but thankfully we did have an absolute metric ton of essence of life. So I've got 100 tomato and 100 chili that I'm going to plant all the way down. And there we go. That's the area now completely filled in. But we already have the greater essence of life. We now have these cedar logs. We just need the chili and the tomato. Then we'll already be tier 6, which is insane because then we just need to get tier 7 and we'll pretty much have every crop unlocked. And here are the tomatoes finally coming to life. Let's go ahead and harvest these bad boys up, and the chilies as well. Very, very nice to see. So we got 3 new eternal crops. We'll go ahead and place them down. I'm just kind of placing them all in this area for now. Eventually there's going to be different islands for different crops. That's what I want. I think that would be really cool. But we got 185 chili, 212 tomato. Now we can very easily go ahead and upgrade to tier 6. Just like that. Oh my goodness. So we need dry log. We need 50 of them. And once again, thankfully, top guy is selling them, but we need 50, so we need $2,000. But now that we have all of these crops to sell, let's try and make some money. 172 tomatoes for 860, and 145 chili for 725, which puts us just over 2,000. So we can go ahead and buy 50 dry trunk for only 1,500. Never mind, I thought it was 2,000. My bad. Now we do need 5 greater essence of life, but we also need some rice and cotton. So let's go ahead and make some of those. Gonna make as many as I can, but these ones are very expensive, so I could pretty much only make 90 of each. I'm hoping this is gonna be enough, but let's go ahead and plant them down. That is all the rice. Now let's do the cotton. There we go. That is everything filled in. I still have some chili bags. I'm just going to go ahead and plant these just because we have the extra space, and that leaves us with 1 empty slot. Oh, 2, but that's perfectly fine. Of course, I need to water once again, and now all I need to do is wait for these to grow and then finally be able to harvest them so we can unlock the very final crop, being potatoes and onion. And we did get an eternal bag of cotton. Beautiful. But now we can go straight here. We can craft up 5 greater essence of life and then upgrade to tier 7. Oh my goodness. We have done this so fast. It is unbelievable. But now I can go ahead and craft up 100 onion. Then I am going to need to start crafting some of this stuff into essence of life because I basically have none remaining. But I'm only going to craft just enough to be able to make 100 of each. Just like that. Because now I can go ahead and plant all of these bad boys down. But there we go. Everything is planted down except 1 potato, which I'll plant there. But we are absolutely golden, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Now, if you look in the shop, we get $7 for every onion and potato that we harvest, which means we can start finally making some proper money. As an example, we have 110 rice here. Rice sells for $6 each, which will make us 660. And cotton also sells for the same amount. So in total, we now have $1,559, which is certainly not the best. But of course, I'm going to spend the next hour or 2 just farming these things up while I edit the rest of this video. We'll see how much potato and onion we can get in the next 2 hours. And now a couple hours later, we have a ton of potatoes. Now let me quickly harvest up this last one just to see how many we get total. And you'll see the amount of eternal crops has grown significantly. Now one thing about potatoes, if you cannot sell them in the farmer's workbench, for essence of life, you end up with less than you started with. So instead of making a bunch of potatoes again, I'm going to craft up a bunch of eggplant seeds because these seem to be the best crop to use to be able to get extra essence of life, which is something that we're going to need for the next project. So let me just fill in the entire farm with these eggplants. There we go. That is fully filled in. And now it's time to sell all of these potatoes. Yes, I have over 5,000 potatoes. Oh my goodness. 5,500 and then 969 onions. So let's go ahead and sell 5,500 potatoes for $38,000, and we'll sell 967 onions for another almost 7,000. Now we are starting to make some good money. Now I'm going to turn the rest of these crops into essence of life because I do need it, and I'll turn the essence of life into greater essence of life. There we go. Now it is time to expand the farm because as you can see we have $46,828. So I can go ahead and buy, let's say, 100 grass for $5,000. Man, this seems like such a small amount of money now that we have still $40,000 after spending all the money on grass. Oh my goodness. But this is going to be a massive increase for the total farming area that we get. But even though I spent $5,000 on grass, it didn't even finish this. This is such a big area to fill in. So I'm going to spend another 10,000 to get another 200 grass just so that I can fill in this area and of course complete this circle. Now honestly, this middle bit, eventually I'm going to put a house in here, but for now, just to increase how much money we can make, I'm going to fill the entire thing in with dirt because I just think that that is the easiest thing to do. Oop, our plants already, so let me quickly harvest these bad boys up just like that. And if we sell all of these eggplants, what do we get? Oh my goodness, 3,000 essence of life. That is crazy. We also got an extra 2 bags of eternal crops, so we'll chuck those down. And honestly, we'll just go ahead and plant even more of these eggplants because I'm definitely going to need a huge amount of essence of life to be able to fill the entire thing in with potatoes. And there we go. It's all filled in again, growing very quickly. Let's go ahead and finish placing in the 58 blocks of grass just like that. And now we can go ahead and plow all the land, fertilize it and water it. Plant some eggplants and we'll see what it looks like with a full harvest after we're done. And I've gone ahead and plowed and planted all of the land so far, but I want to do the rest. We have 551 eggplants right now, and every single one is already grown. This is absolutely insane. But I'm going to craft a huge amount more and I'm going to harvest these up, making sure to do little bits at a time just so that I don't have these pieces of land falling back into normal dirt. That would be the worst. But if I did not have this sickle, then this would not even be possible. There is just so many crops here that harvesting them all by hand would be simply impossible. Now I am of course slowly getting eternal bags, but it's definitely not going to be enough. Nowhere near enough for how much we're actually going to need. That is all of them harvested. Now I can go through and plant the rest. And now that we're all planted down, it looks like these ones are almost ready to go again. Goodness me, so we almost have an infinite farm, which means we could farm this just non-stop. That is crazy. But we have 31 greater essence of life, and that's before selling the eggplants. I want to wait. I want to see how many we get from all of that. But before we do anything else, I'm going to need to buy at least 150 more grass for 7,500. And fingers crossed this will allow us to fill in the rest of the circle that I created. I'm starting to think that this circle that I made was a little bit ambitious, and 150 wasn't even anywhere near enough. So I'll grab another 100 for 5,000 and fingers crossed this will do it. We are getting to the smaller side of the circle now, so I think that this should be just enough. We have 16 remaining and look at that. We had 1 grass block to spare. Oh my goodness. Now I need to plow all of this, use the fertilizer bag, and then plant it all. This is definitely going to take a little bit of time. And it looks like most of the eggplants are ready to go, so I'm going to harvest these up. But this time, instead of planting eggplants, I'm going to start planting the potatoes. So once again, we can start making a huge amount of money. I'm curious to see how much we can get from one single harvest. We got 5 eternal bags of seed from that single harvest. Oh my goodness. And now if we sell all of these eggplants, we're going to get, oh my goodness, 207 greater essence of life. That is insane. So now I can craft just about, oh my god, over 1,000 potatoes. That is mental. Oh my goodness. Now we just have to plant these bad boys in and we're going to be absolutely golden. I can't believe we still have 100 greater essence of life. We just made 1,000 potato seeds. That is crazy. But I'll see you guys when this is all done. Now, thankfully, pretty much all of the hard work is done, so we can start enjoying this. But I do want to see just how much money we make from a single harvest. So I'm going to go through and harvest every single one of these potatoes and find out just how much money we can make. And there we go. That is the entire farm filled in. And we got a total of 3,100 potatoes because I think we had about 200 before. So if I sell all of these potatoes, we will make $23,800. Not too bad for a single harvest. So I'm going to make a little bit more money, and I'll see you guys when we have enough to start building our first house. And after a huge amount of farming, we have $60,000 and all of these potatoes that are ready to be sold. So in here, I can see I have 28,204 potatoes, which I can now sell for $197,000. I can also sell these onions for another 800, which gives us a grand total of $259,088, which is a huge amount of money that I can now start spending to get this island looking good, because right now it looks horrible. Just a bunch of potatoes. So let's go ahead and buy some rubble. I'll grab 4 for now, and let's craft a workbench and then a builder's workbench. Okay, turns out I didn't actually need the rubble. My bad. Now with this, I can go ahead and turn it all into stone, which gives us 440, and I can just create a nice perimeter all the way around, because just having the floating dirt to me seemed a little bit weird. And there we go. We have a nice perimeter around this first little section here, and it definitely makes it feel a whole lot bigger. It did use a huge amount of my stone, but I guess that's perfectly fine. I think I might even need to go an extra block, to be completely honest. So let me just go 1 extra block all the way around, and fingers crossed we have enough stone for this. And there we go. That's an extra 1 block to make it 3 blocks wide around the entire thing. And now I want to use some oak saplings, and thankfully I have been stockpiling quite a bit of this dirt. So I'm going to create a little path out this way. We'll go 7 blocks. And then I want to create a nice little circle, which is going to be very small compared to the other one. But I have run out of stone. So let me purchase another 100, which cost $5,000. Oh my goodness. We'll turn it into stone as well. And we'll just go ahead and complete this little circle over here. And there we go. That is this much smaller circle. It does still look very similar to that size, but that's just because we're much closer to this circle. So it appears to be the same size, but it's definitely not. It is much smaller. And I am 2 cobblestone short. So let me grab another 2 for $100. Man, it's a good thing that potatoes pay so well. I probably spent like 10 hours total farming potatoes just over quite a long period. It was many days that I was slowly farming more and more. But now we have a second circle. We have this circle actually filled in, so we're definitely making some nice progress. I'm thinking of using some marble. We're gonna get 200. And what can we make with this? We can make smooth marble. I do like that, but I think we might just go with the normal marble because this looks okay. I don't mind this at all. I should probably work on getting a better pickaxe as well. This one is really bad. But I will use this to create yet again another circle. Then I am going to add in some dirt. Now on this dirt is where I am going to be placing in the oak tree saplings so that I can start farming up some oak log, which I would like to use for the perimeter. So now that we have them planned out in the positions, I'm going to go ahead and fill the majority of this in with this marble. Once again, creating this kind of circle here. I just got to try and give it a little bit more shape. I'm thinking something like this is going to be pretty nice. I'm probably going to need to expand it a little bit, or you know what, let's keep it like this. I like this. I'm gonna grab some more cobblestone, turn this into normal stone, and then just create a little path 1 block wide all around the center, because I'd like the middle to be hollow. I think that'll be kind of cool. And then we can just go ahead and place the oak saplings on top of each of these bits of grass. I just need 3 more. I really hope I've given the trees enough space. I'll make a couple more oak saplings. 3 should be perfect, and we can just go ahead and chuck these bad boys in just like that. Now I definitely think I need to get rid of a huge amount of these potatoes, and I'm not going to worry too much about trying to keep the plowed land plowed, because I am going to be remodeling this entire island here, because right now I think it looks completely whack and I need to somehow make it look a lot better. But the rest of these potatoes here are all eternal. I have a huge amount of eternal crops now, which is fantastic. It is definitely going to make farming a whole lot more convenient. Pretty much every crop remaining now is completely eternal, so I might never have to replant these ever again. But I am most likely going to have to be moving these around because I don't love the spot that they're in. However, we do have a huge amount of potatoes again, so I'm going to make sure to sell it all in this shop, which is going to make me $25,000 just like that. That is very easy money. We also have 226 greater essence of life, so we're definitely getting a lot of those very quick. But it seems like maybe 1/3 of my total farm are eternal crops, which definitely isn't the best, but it's a huge improvement on what it was before. But I do want to have a nice big building right in the middle here. I only have 18 logs right now. I don't really want to be spending my money on the logs, especially if I can easily farm them here, but I guess it's a good idea to go ahead and get some kind of build laid out. So the middle block should be about here. I believe this is the very middle of this circle. So we'll make sure to use this as a reference, and we'll just create a very basic square or box right in the middle for the foundation of our house, just so that we can very easily keep it centered. I can go ahead and create another 2 boxes right here. So this is going to be the first one, and then we can create another one over here, which is going to take up a substantial amount of this main island. But I also want to expand this out this way, so we're going to go 3 blocks at the front so that I can create a very nice entrance. And now all of these things are in the way, so I have to get rid of them and move them around. I'm just going to temporarily place this here. I guess I'll do the same with the workbench. I'll place it right next to this. I might as well move the bed over here as well. And the farmer's workbench, because it's a hassle to move because it'll lose the levels, I'm just going to leave it there for now. However, for a starter house, I think this is going to be a very nice size. The only thing that I'm waiting for is the trees to grow, because that's all the oak logs that I can place down for now. But I guess we just got to move these eternal crops around a little bit to make sure they're still growing. And to be honest, we didn't really lose much land. There's quite a bit of plowed land within the house boundaries, but it's really only a small amount of the total. So we're not really losing a huge amount of production until I go ahead and add the decorations around to make the build actually look good. But we don't have to do that right now. We have to do the house first. So I guess we'll just wait for these trees to grow. Then we can grab as many logs as we like. So I'll see you when these have finally grown. While I was waiting, I did another harvest, and I have over 2,000 potatoes, so we'll be able to see exactly how much we get from a single harvest of our Eternals, which is 15,666. That is insane. Considering I don't even need to replant, I can just farm those so effortlessly with the sickle. But of course, these trees have grown. I don't think they're gonna grow any larger. And how many trees have we got? We have 8. So let me make sure I grab 8 more saplings so we can go ahead and get them planted down straight away, just like that. And we'll just start chopping down these trees. From one tree, we have 34 oak logs. I'm pretty sure, oh no, we got 2 trees from that. Oh, hold on. It chopped 3 trees at once. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's a good thing because I feel like I'm going to lose a huge amount of logs. So hopefully that doesn't happen too often. It seems to only be chopping 1 tree now, which is what I want. We have 70 logs so far. I mean, these trees aren't really the biggest, and I did just lose a whole nother tree then, but that's fine. We have 93 logs now, plus a bunch of new trees planted. Now, while I was waiting, I was looking at the area, and I think having the house right in the middle is a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything back, probably to about here. So it's more towards the back of the island. I think this is going to make it look a little bit better, and I can try and do something really cool in the front, because I was trying to figure out how I would map out the rest of the island considering the placement of the house originally, and I was just really struggling. I thought it would be really weird to try and get it looking good. So I'm hoping that this new placement is going to make that a lot easier. And you can see it's pretty much an entire jump back from where it was before. And the final pillar I need to remove. There we go. Now I can go ahead and build this up. I'll build it up 4 high. 4 generally is a good height. We'll go for the 5th block, and this is where we're going to connect this beam across. And I'm just going to do that exact same thing for this entire build. I'm hoping the 90 something logs that we had is going to be enough, but if not, it just means we're just going to have to wait for those to grow once again, because I really do not want to be spending the money on the logs, because this is a resource which is renewable. I know that the cobblestone is also renewable, but I really cannot be bothered just sitting there mining the stone. The oak logs is a lot easier because you just got to chop down the tree and the whole thing drops at once. So it's very easy. It's kind of like a set and forget, but chopping cobblestone is just horrible, man. really bad. But at least the very first level is completely done now. So I'll start working on the second level. We'll do, once again, we'll go 4, and then the 5th block having a beam connecting across just like this. And there we go. We're out of logs again. Oh my goodness. I guess while we're waiting, let's go into the shop. Let's figure out what type of log we want to use for the roof. Let's check out the auction to see if anyone's selling it for cheaper. Looks like a lot of redwood is going for sale for $14. We've got some for $9. I might buy the $9 one. Let's buy 100 from this guy, which is going to be $900 and barely going to make a dent in our current balance. So we'll go ahead and purchase those. And of course, the potatoes are ready to go. So I've got to make sure that I harvest them as soon as I can because I really want to make sure that I get the most amount of money because I am going to be spending quite a lot of money on this build, especially once we get into the nitty-gritty detail. That is what's really going to cost a lot of money, so I want to make sure that I don't run out. So as long as I keep farming, I shouldn't have any problems with that. And there we go. Wow, this house is looking kind of good already. But now we have the redwood logs. Let's go into our builder's workbench, and it is the blue roof. I don't mind that. So let's see, what if we grab some of these and some of these, just because I'm not entirely sure which one's going to work. So I guess we'll use the dirt just to be able to get up here a bit. And because this is very wide and it's at the bottom level, I don't want it to feel too tall. So if I get rid of this here, this just basic line here, I'll be able to go ahead and add these slanted roofs in here. Or sorry, not slanted, these shallow roof across here. So that's going to sit nicely into that little pocket that I just made. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side, of course, and fill these in right across. Beautiful. And if we have a look at this from the front, okay, that is definitely a very wide front entrance. So having these shallow roofs is definitely going to be important. So let's make another 10 so I can finish that basic roof there. It's just going to pretty much meet up right in the middle, exactly like this. And for this bit, what I want to do is add in a line of oak logs coming right across with one overlap. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the overlap. We'll have to find out in a second. But this is a nice way to finish off the roof. And I think it looks okay. Let's just slap another log there. And because we skipped the night, we've got all these potatoes ready again. So let's quickly harvest them up. The trees look like they're pretty much good to go as well. So I might also go and chop them up as well, just so I can get them going once again. Or some of them are still small, so I'll leave them. I'll leave them for now. But they're almost ready. I got to keep an eye on them. And I can sell the potatoes once again for $15,000. We are almost at $300,000. That is amazing. But anyway, this is what the building is looking like now. If we look in the shop, I think I want to use some basalt. So let me grab 100 of this stuff and we'll turn it into some basalt brick. And if I create a line of this across the floor and then use the normal basalt for the remainder, I think that's going to look pretty nice. I'll just make sure to leave some spots for doors and windows, of course. For example, right here, I need to create a nice big window. So let's use these to make some stairs and some slabs. And I should be able to just chuck these in here very easily, just like that. Man, the building system in this game is so good. Just makes building so effortless. I'll get some of these redwood stairs as well, and I'll just slap these under here. That should fix that issue up there a bit. And I definitely don't mind this. I think the basalt with the redwood is looking pretty nice. So let's continue this. Once again, making sure to leave some spaces for the windows. And we are out of basalt and I still need quite a bit more. Let's just have a look at what this is looking like. Okay, it's certainly coming together. Wow, these potatoes are already ready again. That is insane. I literally just harvested them not even long ago. That is crazy. Hey, who am I to complain? But the trees are looking pretty good to go. So before we continue on this build, let me go ahead and chop these down. There we go, fully replanted. And now I have 97 oak logs once again. So I can jump all the way up to the top and finish up where we started. And just connect this entire second floor together. Just like that. And this is going to be a very nice sized building. It's going to be very big indeed. So for the roof of this top bit, what I want to do is create a nice little section here that kind of dips out just like this. And then the rest of the roof will curve around. So I'm definitely going to need a huge amount of those roof tiles. So let me pretty much turn all of my redwood logs into these. I don't even think this is going to be enough. Like, this is going to be a big roof, man. But we'll connect this all the way across exactly like this. And we're just going to build up until it meets up in the middle, which is going to be roughly here. So we'll just chuck an oak log there and also have this go off by 1. I think that should be pretty nice. We're just going to have to find out. The only way to find out if something is going to look good is to do it. And if it doesn't, then I guess you just wasted your time. I mean, I guess you can try and fix it, but some things are just not fixable. We're going to have to find out today if this is one of those things. Hopefully not. Hopefully this one will be fine, but we'll definitely find out. But we are already completely out of these roof tiles, so I'm definitely going to need to get some more redwood logs. But I guess now that we have a basic setup for the main roof, we can have a better look at how this is going to come together, which gives us something that looks like that. Currently very boring. I'm not going to lie, it is extremely boring. I can chuck these sticky outy bits on these flat faces here, which is going to give it a little bit of a nicer depth. And the building is definitely not lost. There's still so much that we can do to fix it up. We're going to have to figure it out together. I guess the first thing I should do is make some half wood slabs just so that I can get up to the next level. I'm going to place in some temporary ones here so I can just jump up. I will create an actual way to get up here, like a staircase or ladder or something. But for now, this is going to have to do it. I just want to be able to walk around up here just to make it easier to build. Wow, our potatoes are already ready again, dude. This is insane. Maybe time is just going really fast because I'm building. I really enjoy the building part of this game. So time just seems to fly for me when I'm doing that. And I mean, we haven't really built much, but it's slowly coming together. And once we have the building done, we can really focus on the rest of the island, which I think is really going to make the biggest impact, working on the outside. Like everything that's around the building for me is the most important. And I feel like that's where I really shine with my building. At least I like to think so. Feel free to debate me in the comments. You can call me out if I'm bad. But we can go ahead and sell the potatoes once again for 7,600. So it's not 15,000 per harvest, it's 7,500. I must have harvested twice to get that $15,000 figure, but 7,000 is still okay. I mean, considering we have been spending money and we still have $300,000, like we're going up with not much work. So let's go ahead and, well, not purchase them from here. We'll purchase, I'm thinking of trying out rock lime. I've never used this. I've never used the rock aqua or the shale, I don't think, because I don't think you can get the rock lime or the rock aqua in the base game. So I feel like this is going to clash with the roof. So let's not do that one. Let's go with rock lime cobble. We'll just buy 100 and let's see what this is gonna look like. What can we use this for? Okay, so there is a limestone brick. We're gonna grab some of that. And honestly, I think we do something similar that we did down here. We have the bricks along the bottom bit, just like this. It's gonna be very bright, which is nice. It's gonna contrast very nicely, I hope, with the bottom floor, because the bottom floor is very dark. But we'll use the bricks on the bottom and then the regular cobble. Or what is this? Yeah, limestone cobble. Use the limestone cobble up here. Wait. Is there a stone variant? No, there's not. There's just the cobble. Okay. I mean, it looks fine. It doesn't really look like cobblestone. It looks like a different kind of brick. I do like it. I think it looks very nice, but we'll have to see everything together from a distance to really find out if it's going to fit in well or if it's just going to be bad. From the inside, I think it looks fine, but the only way to really know is to step back and have a look, and we look a little something like that. It's definitely unique. Okay, is it good? I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't want to say it is because we still have so much that we need to do in order to make it look good. So let's grab 200 of these logs here, which is going to set us back 1,800, but that's no problem because our potatoes are almost ready again, which means we're going to make another $7,500 dues. I'm going to start by making 100 of these because I think I'm gonna need them. Wait, what does a redwood log window look like? A lumberjack window. I don't think that's gonna fit in, to be honest. I think I'm gonna have to go with the simple oak log ones that we get. I think they look the best. But can we jump up here? We can. Then up here? Oh, we can. And I fell down. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try that again. We'll jump up here, then we'll jump up here. Beautiful. All right, let's not fall down this time. Alrighty, and now pretty much all I have to do is go ahead and fill in the rest of this roof. For this bit up here, I might use marble. I don't know if that's going to look good. If it doesn't, we can change it, but for now, that makes the most amount of sense to me. And there we go. That is the roof filled in. I just need to get the oak logs to be able to finish this top bit. Man, these potatoes are growing unbelievably fast. This is very nice. Man, this house is coming along so nice. I really like this limestone. I think that looks really, really good. The oak trees are growing slowly, so they're definitely going to take some time, but I do want to create another 2 platforms, one on that side and one on that side. So I want to keep it exactly the same. How many blocks is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's go ahead and build the exact same platform, or bridge I should say, on both sides. So we'll make this 7 blocks, and then I'll make sure I go ahead and do the exact same thing right on the opposite side, which is going to give us an extra 2 massive platforms. But that is not even all. Once I have the platforms, I have another plan, which I'm excited to try to see if it looks good. But I do need to create these circles. So we went with 7, then 3, then 2, then 2, then 3, then 7. Okay, so it's a very simple circle. Just need to double check all of my measurements to make sure they're all on point, because I really don't want to be messing anything up. And it seems like everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and get all of these circles done up. So that is the first side of this circle done. I want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side as well, exactly like this. Now I wonder if I can get all the way to the top so we can see this from a higher vantage point. Okay, nope, I cannot. So I guess you're gonna have to use your imagination. So we have the massive main island, then we have this smaller one, and then 2 planned ones on both sides. Now we will be coming back to these, but you're gonna have to stay tuned to see what we do with that. I have a cool idea. I'm hoping it looks good, but of course we do need to get the house done first. I have to stop procrastinating. So let's fix up the inventory a bit, just condense all the essence down. Then let's go ahead and buy another 100 basalt for $5,000, and let's go ahead and get this bottom floor finished up, at least the walls, just like this. Craft up a couple torches, and I'll chuck some of these inside just so we can see a little bit easier, especially when it turns to night. It does get very dark in this game, so that should at least help us with being able to see a little bit better, especially inside. Let me also go ahead and grab another 50 of this limestone cobble, turn a bunch of it into the brick. Oh goodness, I think I've made a little bit too much, but that's perfectly fine. It's not really the end of the world. Then I just got to finish this top level up just like that. Beautiful. And waking up in the morning, the potatoes are ready to go once again. These things grow unbelievably quick, man. Goodness me, I love it. But there we go. Quickly fix up my inventory once again. We have 393 greater essence of life. That is amazing. And we can sell the potatoes for 15,000, bringing our balance to 308,000 total. Now the house is definitely looking better, but these trees are ready to go, which means I can harvest these trees up and get the other blocks that I require to finish the main walls. So we just go through, chop all these oak trees down, and now I can add in the windows. So using the oak logs, let's make these simple windows. Gonna make 40. I'm hoping this is gonna be enough, and I'll just slap all of these right into these little window holes that I left, and we've already used half of them, so I definitely think we're gonna need to make more already. We used most of them. We used 32 on the bottom floor, so I'm gonna need to make another 20. Hopefully this will do the top floor, because I did have other things that I was needing to use those logs for. It wasn't just for the windows, and it looks like we're 2 short, or sorry, 4 short, 2 windows short I should be saying. So I'm gonna make these, which leaves us with 64 oak logs, which is definitely gonna be nice, because I can just finish these last 2 windows and then somehow make my way to the top just like this, and add these final things in for the roof. We will definitely have enough logs. We have plenty of logs remaining, and we'll just connect these all the way through just like that. Beautiful, man. So I should be able to get rid of this now, and with the roof fully complete, this is what it's looking like. It's certainly coming together. Now the next changes are definitely going to make the biggest impact. What I want to try is using some of these redwood logs to create these lumberjack platforms. I haven't used these before, so I'm hoping it looks good, and just smacking these across here. So I'm not sure if this is going to come together nice, but there's only one way to find out. It does look a little bit weird where the roof connects, but that's perfectly fine. Not much we can do about that. I think it looks okay. Now I'm thinking of using these hardwood beams. So we'll make 20 for now and just slap these across here. Connect these right in front of these oak pillars, just to add a little bit of stability, I guess. But I won't lie, it's mostly for aesthetics. I do think they look nice. I'm just going to turn the rest of my logs into it. It gives us 58. Fingers crossed that's going to be enough, but I do have my doubts. Okay, that is the bottom floor done. Now I do need to do the top. Can I jump up here? Oh, I can. That is beautiful. I'm going to smack these in through here. And you know what? I'll add these in through here too. Looking at that from over here, I do think it looks nice. It may not be perfect, but I think it sits well. I will need more of these though, but thankfully I have a ton of the redwood logs remaining. I'm just going to slap these right across here. I'm also going to do these on this top floor too, because I just love the way that they look. Now it is a shame that I can't chuck these in front of these windows. I think that would look cool. Can I make something else? Maybe a shelf? Can I put a shelf in front? No, that did not work. Wait, maybe a shelf would have looked better, to be honest. Did I just waste all of my stuff on these platforms when a shelf looks way better? Goodness me, hold on. Can I place these here? No, I can't. Unfortunate. But let's go ahead and try these shelves out. We'll make 10 of them. I'm going to remove these painstakingly with my wooden axe. And I'll just try adding these shelves in instead. I think that is a lot better, to be honest with you. I feel like these come out too far, but that's nice. Now the question is, can I place something on top of here? Oh, I can. Yeah, these are definitely going to be winners. I'm going to have to go through and remove all of these platforms and replace these with shelves. The shelves just look better, so much better. Now I wonder if I delete this and place a stone, then the platform, then remove the stone, is that going to break? Yes, it does. Okay, that is unfortunate. Thought I might have been able to get that on top, but unfortunately not. I guess I just got to turn the rest of these redwood logs into these platforms, the shelves, and then just go around and replace all the platforms that I literally just placed in with these brand new shelves that I made, because I think they look so much better. Just look at that. That just makes the log have a little bit more significance. I'm sure I'll be able to come up with a use for these platforms, but for now, they're just going to sit in my chest. Maybe I can create like a shed sticking out of the house. That might look good, but I guess we'll just have to find out. There we go. Let's have a look at how this is looking now. Okay, the shelves definitely look so much better. It's not even a contest. I guess we'll just chop down these potatoes once again. Also, side note, I'm very glad that I moved the house back because I feel like it's in a good spot now. If it was too far forward, it would just seem a little bit weird, to be honest. So very happy that I made that decision before I made anything significant. Okay, now I do want to move these potatoes, so I think we're going to take a little break from the house and we're going to start working on that. I have an idea. So over here, obviously I've created these other circles. I want to create a line or bridge that connects these together. So right in the middle, right here, we're going to go out. We'll go 5. So that's 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Then I'm going to copy that on the other side as well, because I have a really unique idea to make these potatoes seem a little bit cooler, because obviously this is the main way to make money. I just think they're so ugly. So I want to try to make them a little bit nicer to look at. So we're going to create this platform. We're going to make it 3 blocks wide, just like this. Then I'll just quickly match that on this side as well. Then we'll go in like this, so it's still 3 blocks wide, but this time we're going to go 4 like this. Then we'll go 4 again, because there's quite a bit of distance that I need to cover to be able to meet it up very nicely. So we have 5, then we have 4, then we have 4, then we'll go 3 just like that, and we'll see where that meets up. Hopefully it is close enough. So once again we'll go 4, then once again 4, and then this time 3. Okay, so it's kind of close. So now let's go 2, and we'll go 2 again. Why not? So that meets us up here, so I can pretty much just connect these together just like that. Oh my goodness, perfect. So now what I need to do is place in some stone on each of these corners here, just like that, and do the same thing on the outside as well. So then we have something looking like this, and to finish it off, what I'm going to do is grab a bunch of stone slabs. Oh no, there's no such thing as stone slabs. I forgot. That's annoying. Guess I'll have to go stone brick smooth. So we'll make 31 of them, and then some stone brick smooth slab. Man, that's really my only option here. I don't have much of a choice, but I can place these in like this, just along the edge here. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to change these stone to this smooth stone brick because it just looks weird with the 2 different types of stone here. But the reason I'm using slabs here for the most part is to make this area here seem a little bit thinner. I want it to be less significant than the 4 islands that we're creating. The 4 islands should be the main attraction, I guess. This was the best idea that I had for the potatoes, just to make them look a little bit nicer, because I definitely need them. It's how we make money, but they're just such an eyesore. I don't want them around my nice builds. So having them as this kind of pathway around the edge, I think is going to be really cool. At least I hope it is. There we go. That's this one side done. On the outside, now we're going to do the inside. And the very final block, done. Beautiful. Alrighty. Now, I think that looks really cool. Am I able to get a better view of that? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good view, but can I jump up here, please? Oh, I can. That is amazing. That is looking really nice. I think that's very, very cool. Maybe I could have done the curve a little bit better, but honestly, I think it's okay. I do need to copy that exact same thing onto this side here. But before I do that, I do want to make sure that I'm going to have enough potatoes for that entire space. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do before I do anything is plow up all of this grass and make sure that I fertilize it as well. This is definitely the slow, tedious part of this entire thing. There we go. And of course I need to water it all, just like that. So first thing to do is harvest up these potatoes and then manually break them so I can get the eternal potatoes back. Now because I don't want to lose all of my income, I've only harvested 100 so far just because I'm not entirely sure how many blocks I have right here. So I don't want to harvest them and then have, half of my income just disappeared because I haven't got all of the potatoes down. And obviously that was a good choice because we've almost finished this entire thing and I only used 100 of them. So that's not the best. I definitely need to get working on the second arm because I have all of these potatoes remaining. So I'll harvest a couple more and we've got 22. I'm thinking this is going to fill in the rest of it, to be honest. I really like how this one looks. We have such a nice little hole between the trees. It's a very nice canopy. Okay, I only need 6 more and then this whole thing here is filled in. But it could be almost spot on because that seems like it's half of my potatoes. So if I make the second arm, then that's pretty much going to be the exact amount of space that I needed. So I guess that's maybe a good thing. But let's go ahead and chuck these down. And then I guess I need to start working on this second arm straight away. So once again, using the exact same design that I used on the other one. So we start off with 5, then 4. Then I'm pretty sure it was 4 again. Then 3, then 2, and 2. Of course, matching that exact same design on this side, which gives us the perfect connection right to here. Just like that. Beautiful. So I've pretty much just got to go through, plow up all the land once again, fertilize it all, and water it all. There we go. Now let's go ahead, harvest all these potatoes, sell them all, and drop all the other crops in here because I'm stocking them up to make some more eternal crop. 432 greater essence of life is absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. But now I can go through and chop up all of these crops here, only the potato ones for now. And that gives us 110 with a couple left over. I once again don't want to have to chop some down. I want to make sure I have enough space for all of them just because of how much money they make us. It's very important that they're all down. So I don't want to chop down more than I have to, at least for now. Okay, and it looks like we need another 18. So fingers crossed I have 18 exactly. That would be perfect. Looks like I have less than 18. Oh, no, I had literally the exact right amount. That is insane. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that at all. So this should be the exact right amount of land for how many potatoes we have. I seriously cannot have made that any more perfect. I seriously did not plan that. I promise. That is insane how good that worked. Oh my goodness. These ones are ready to go. So let's harvest this up for the very first time. It's definitely very nice to harvest. A little bit more entertaining than just a massive field of crop. Like this is so much nicer. Oh my days. Amazing. This place is seeming so much more barren now though because it's all gone. Alrighty, so the next thing I need to do is fix up the edge here just like I did with the stone over there. So let me go ahead and do that. And as you can see now, this arm here and also that arm are completely finished. Now you'll notice I have $446,000 now. That's because I was editing a good portion of the video and just slowly farming up all my potatoes while I was doing it, which allowed me to get a crazy amount of extra money. So I think it's time that we start going absolutely bonkers on detailing the heck out of this entire island. And the very first thing that I want to do is finish the 2 circles that I started but didn't actually complete. So let's go ahead and buy a bunch of cobblestone for cheap, of course. I'm gonna get 500. Finding this stuff in the auction house is so much cheaper than buying it from the server shop, so of course I'm always gonna take that option. But all I need to do is go through and add the exact same dimensions that I added in before to finish these circles here. But thankfully that is is extremely easy. That is now this one done, and all I have to do is this one over here. And there we go, that is both circles now completely filled in. Now I would like to once again go ahead and purchase a huge amount of this rock marble. I'm going to get 100 for now, and I'm going to create a line going right through the middle of this, just like that, and then a second line on the other half so that the circle is divided into 4, just like that. Now of course I am going to copy this on the other circle as well. Once again, a line right through the middle, and then once again through the other half, just like that. Now unfortunately we do have to purchase grass from the shop, so I'm going to grab, let's do 500, which I think is going to cost us like $25,000. We have 447, and after that purchase we only have 422,000. I don't quite know if I needed all of that, but at least we've got it now, so I can go through and fill all of these sections in now with this brand new grass. And just filling in this one circle over here leaves us with only 228 grass, so that did use an absolute metric ton. So I am definitely going to need to be buying more just to finish this circle over here. But I'm going to, of course, start by using the remainder of my current grass before I do buy any more, because I have no idea how much I might need to buy. And because of how expensive it is, I don't really want to overspend on it. And that is all we could do. We only have a little bit left. So let's buy 60, and fingers crossed this is going to be enough. Okay, we only need 2 more. That's not too bad. I don't mind that. I can manage with that. But there we go. That's both circles now completely filled in, which leaves our total island looking like this. Now I need to transfer all of these little crops over here into the 8 sections that I've just created. Of course, we'll start with the wheat. I've only got 1, so in order to fill it up completely, I am going to need to buy a bunch of these wheat seed bags. I can make 3 more Eternals, so now we've got 71. Let's go with 81. Hopefully that's enough. Over time, I do plan to use all the crops that I get and turn them all into Eternals. Let's do this one for the wheat. But yeah, I do plan to eventually have every single crop with fully Eternal farms. I think that'll be very helpful just to have a little bit of variety. Even though I don't think I really need them all, the only thing I really need is the potatoes. That's the main currency maker, but I still do want to have every single type of crop, because honestly, what's the point if we don't have every single type of crop on our island? Our island isn't really that great. My goal is to create the nicest looking island, and to me, I love the look of farm. So I think having an aesthetic island which has enough farms to be able to feed everyone that lives on the island is going to be extremely important. But here we go. This is going to be the wheat farm fully complete. There we go. Now we just need to figure out where the other crops are going to be going. I think I want to do carrots next, so let me grab the carrot as well as the Eternal crop. I can make 1 bag of Eternal, so let's make that so we get 2, and then purchase all the carrot seed bags that I need. Hopefully 82 will be sufficient, and we'll just chuck this one right next to the wheat farm. And there we go. That is the carrot farm completely filled in. Now we can do the tomatoes, which I can create 3 extra Eternal bags of. It is definitely a good thing that I got so much of this greater essence of life, because I'm definitely needing to use it all right now. I am burning through it so quick. I also think I want to chuck the cotton in there as well. Or should we do that? Yeah, let's do the eggplant instead. Eggplant to me is the best. It's very nice and purple and bright. I love it. And out of all of the crops, the eggplant is the one I have the most Eternals of. And it's also the one I can make the most extra Eternal bag. I can get another 10. Oh my goodness. So that gives us 26. That is crazy. So using these seeds, the 86 eggplant and the 85 tomato, I should be able to fill in the last 2 sections here. So let me go ahead and do that right now. And now that makes that circle over there completely finished. So I need to move on to this one, and I've decided I'm going to go with some pumpkin, some cotton, the chili, and the corn. So I'm going to make 80 of each of those crops just like that, and make as many Eternals as I can, which unfortunately was not much. But I'm going to go ahead and place the pumpkin in this one. I'll place the cotton over in this one, the chili in this one, and finally I'll place the corn over in this one. So now all that's left to do is go ahead, plow up all the land. Then I need to go ahead and fertilize it. Then I need to go ahead and water it. And finally plant down all of these last crops to fill in the entire area. Thankfully, this is the easy and fast part. That's the pumpkin done. That is now the cotton done. The chilies are in, and finally, we just have to fill in the rest of this corn. And there we go. That is every single one now done. And having a look at this one over here, once the crops have grown, I think it looks really, really nice. However, there is one more thing that I wanted to do. I'm going to grab 4 grass. I'm going to place 2 in the middle with an oak sapling above. Now, the reason I'm doing that, if you look at those trees, they look like they grow 1 or 2 blocks underneath. So I'm hoping that me placing 2 blocks here is going to allow them to grow right there. That would be fantastic because then it's going to be a little bit taller. And these trees in the middle of these platforms, they're not going to be for harvesting. They're just going to be for aesthetic. So fingers crossed they sit well in there. But that leaves the lettuce and the onion with nowhere to go. But that's perfectly fine. There is only 3 of those Eternals, so it's not a huge loss. I'm sure we'll be able to fit them in this area. However, it's time to get back to working on this house. So in the auction area, I can purchase some fiber. I'm going to purchase 500, which will set us back $2,500. But with this, I can go into the decoration section and craft up a bunch of wall ivy, regular ivy, vines, and different types of crops here. So I'm going to grab a bunch of wall ivy to start, some regular ivy, and why not a couple vines. Now I'm going to use these around this area and hopefully make it seem a little bit nicer. I really enjoy throwing vines and wall ivy on these. I think it definitely makes a nice difference. Adding a little bit of color is always a good thing, at least in my opinion. So that's the bottom floor with some ivy added in. Let's now head up here and do the same thing on the second floor. There we go. We've got a bunch of little ivy in there and I think it looks a little bit nicer, but I would also like to add some half-wood slabs right above these windows. Now, I don't know if it's going to look good. I haven't done this before, but just going something like that, I'm hoping this will look very nice. Now, usually I would use roof tiles here, but I did want to try and change it up a little bit. Also, I noticed there's a couple sections where I'm missing the beams, so I need to go ahead and add those in. Thankfully, I do have a bunch of oak logs ready to go. So now I've got 42 hardwood beams, which if I jump up here, I can go ahead and add these into these spaces which are missing them, especially this side here. There we go. That is all of the hardwood beams added in, which gets our house looking exactly like this. It's definitely coming together very fast. However, we're still not done. What I want to do next is once again use these oak logs to create some simple wooden ladders. Now, I just love using these for the windows. What you can do is throw these down like this and have them open and even have them closed like that. I think it just looks fantastic. I love using these ladders. It makes it seem like little shutters. You can even have them right across, have them looking like they're open in all different variations or positions just to make the house look a little bit nicer. It's definitely a fantastic detail and I love using it. In Minecraft, I would use like a trapdoor, but there's no need when these look so good. Oh my days. Now, I'll make sure to do that on the top level as well, but before jumping up there, I do need to make a couple more. I'm hoping 28 will be enough, and I'll just do the exact same thing. Oh my goodness, that's going to make it a bit hard to get around, isn't it? I'm going to have to go the other way. Now, on this top level, because we have these awnings above it, I think it is going to look even better. I think it's just going to tie it all together. Very nice. But there we go. That's them all added in, which now makes the build look like this. Now I can buy some wool. I'm going to buy 10 because I'm not quite sure what I can make from this. But let's go into the builder's workbench and we can make, okay, beautiful. I can just make the white cloth roofs. So let's make 10. And I want to chuck some of these in around just to add a little bit of color. I know it might not make a huge amount of sense, but honestly, right now, I'm just looking to add as much color and presentation into this as I can. And I just destroyed that. Oh my goodness. Especially on the bottom where it's extremely dark. I don't love how dark it is, so I'm trying to fix that up a little bit, but I am going to need to buy even more. Let's buy 30 just to make sure I have enough. Now I'm also going to try and make the horizontal ones because I want to see how this looks. If I place this like that, is that nice? It's a little bit different to the one on top, but because it's darker, I think this might work. Having some horizontal cloth awnings. I only got this idea because I started using the normal cloths and I figured this could work, and I think it does. I think it most certainly does. So let's make sure I make enough to go all the way around the bottom floor, just like that. Okay, absolutely stunning, mate. I might as well just add like one in here, then one there. And you know what? Can I get... What if I use these lumberjack platforms? Can I add these in here? Oh, that is such a pity. I can only add them in that high, and that's way too high, man. I was really hoping I could add them in here, but it's not letting me, unfortunately. What about maybe some trapdoors? That could work. I'll just make 10 because I'm really out of options. And if I just place these like this, okay, that could kind of work. Something like that. And then add in some of these beams. Oh no, the beam doesn't actually go in there. Man, that really sucks. I really hope Hytale can fix all this stuff, because there's like little quirks like that where we can go extremely into detail, except the game just stops you from doing it. So there's no real point in the game stopping us. I don't know why it does that. I'm hoping it's just bugs, but there's nothing I can really do about that, unfortunately. Oh, I've missed some beams here. Hold on. Boom, that's better. But I'm pretty happy with this house so far. I think it's looking good. Really, the best thing that I can do now... Oh my goodness, hold on. Look at this. This looks incredible. I love how awesome this looks. I'm glad I chose to put these crops where I put them, because they like slowly move up. So I think that looks really nice. But anyway, the next thing that I can do to improve this area is fix up these islands. Now, in order to make this island look good, I do need to fix the edges first. And I had this really cool idea. What if I go ahead and make a bunch of stone brick, then I make some of these stone brick roofs, then maybe some of these pillars and some of these roofs, the flat ones. Now, if I take these and place these around the edge of the island, so we'll give a 3-block gap, so there, then once again another 3-block gap, which leaves us there and then there. Then I can place in these pillars right on top of that if it wants to let me, and then place these on top of that just to make it so you can't accidentally fall off the island. And I just have that follow all the way around. I think that'll look really unique. And this looks like it's right in the middle, I think, or maybe not. Hold on, let's go over to this edge here, and we'll place it in the exact same position. So right here, we'll do the same thing. So 3-block gap, that puts us here. So here in the middle where it meets up, there is going to be just a 1-block gap. I'm sure that'll be fine. I doubt anyone's going to notice. But of course, the trickiest part is going to be trying to get all of these in the right position, which is only going to be difficult in these sections, I think. Like, I'll have to place in a stone, then place in the roofs like this. It is going to be a little bit tedious for these corner bits, but I definitely think it is going to be worth it, because I reckon it's just going to add so much style to the entire island. Now, on this section here, I think I just got to chuck it in going anyway. It doesn't really matter. But once we do that, that is what the island will look like, at least with the main circles. And I think that's going to look really nice, especially when it's around all 4 circles. So I'm going to do it on the main one. I'm going to do it on both crop ones, and of course on this tree one. It's a very intricate design, but I definitely think it's going to look nice. So let me go ahead and add it into all 4 circles, and we'll see what that looks like when it's all done. And now the island is looking like this. Absolutely fantastic. I love how much of a difference the walls around these circles has added. It just makes them seem so much better. I don't even know why. I also added these little beams between these walkways because I felt it was a little bit strange having nothing there, but I didn't want to do the same design, so I used the beams, and I think that turned out pretty well. Of course, the potatoes are still in the open, but that is completely intentional, and I think it looks fine. So now this island is done, that island is done, and that island is done, except for one thing. The trees have not grown, and it's been quite some time. So I'm going to destroy this, and I'm going to try placing it down here. I'm hoping that this will fix it, but I have no idea. It could be the crops that are making an issue with it. I have no idea. So fingers crossed that fixes it. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm sure you can see I now have a thorium pickaxe. I bought one of these bad boys in the auction house for $10,000 because it was taking so long to do these stone walls with a wooden pickaxe. It was driving me absolutely bonkers. So I decided just to buy that to speed the process up, and it probably saved me like maybe even 5-10 minutes, which is a huge amount of time just for a bit of a better pickaxe. However, now it is time to work on this area, and I have a very unique idea that I want to try out. Before we do that though, let's move everything inside. So I want to make up another 2 chests, and I want to place these inside the house, just in the corner here. Then I want to grab a couple more oak saplings, just so that I know that I have enough, and I want to come over to these oak trees here and chop them all down. I am going to need to buy some more grass, and there we go. Now I'm going to take the oak logs and turn them all into half wood slabs, Well, maybe not all of them. Let's do 104 for now. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the entire section in here and change it from dirt to the slabs. Oops, I just lost my chest. Thank goodness I caught it. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that was going to break if there was no blocks under it. But now I'm going to go ahead and place in these slabs for the floor. Place the chest back in. I know it's not a huge difference between the color of this, but I mean, we can't just have dirt for the inside. That seems a bit weird. So I definitely have to change it over. I do need a couple more. I've got 4. I need 5. So let me just make an extra 2. That'll be fine. And then we're going to finally have an entire bottom floor made out of something that isn't dirt, which is going to be very nice. And there we go. Now I also want to add a door in here. So what can we do? We can make a simple wooden door. And what if I use some more slabs? And how is this going to be orientated? So it is in the middle, which is a bit of a problem. If I do this and then I do this, is that going to be okay? Okay, I think that works. That's very nice. At least we now have a door as well. Oh my goodness, look at us go. So let's go ahead and bring everything inside. The workbench and the builder's workbench. We can put our bed over in this corner. Then I need to move everything out of here and start moving it into this chest. So let's do that right now. Bring in the other chest in here as well. Okay, beautiful. Now we have everything sorted. Well, not sorted, but everything inside of the chests, finally. The final thing I need to do is move this inside as well. So let's chuck this right in the middle. We'll turn it this way. And then we have to upgrade it all over again. All the way back up to tier 7. Oh yeah, dude. So now this entire area is ready to go. We can do whatever we want. Now the first thing I want to do is create a river. Yes, so we're going to make a river, which is crazy. So let's go ahead and dig out some kind of pathway for the river to follow. I wanted to start over here and snake around the front of the house and then end up going out through here. I have no idea how I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm going to do my best. It's not going to be a very thick river, but it is definitely going to be a substantial part of this entire area. Now I do have to destroy a good portion of this, but that is perfectly fine because I think it's going to look really cool. I hope so. So something like this is going to curve right in front of the house and then start heading back towards that corner over there. I have no idea if this is going to look good. I'm really just hoping that it does, because if it doesn't, that's going to kind of suck. But if it does look good, then I think we're going to be absolutely winning. Alrighty, and I think that's going to be good. Hold on. There's a block underneath there. Is that bedrock? Is that what that is? Okay, it is going to break, so let's not break it. I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like bedrock, but we'll place in some dirt so we have an attachment there. And what I'm going to do, if we go into the shop, what are our options? We have rock, sandstone, white. So let me buy 100 of this. I think this is going to be the closest we can get to some kind of sand underneath. So I'll just fill in this entire row through here. Exactly like that. Hold on, is this right? It goes 3, then it should be 2, right? So 3, then 2, yes. So I've got 1 extra block here. Let's get rid of this just so that it matches the circle that we've got. And now we just have to bring this all the way out this way as well. And we're out of sandstone. I don't think I need much. So let's do 20, which then gives us something looking like that. Hell yeah, dude. This is really looking good, I think. Now, am I able to craft up grass? I know the grass is blue, but I want to see if any of these stay green. I really, really hope that they do, but there's really only one way to find out. And there's green moss block as well, but how much does moss cost? $50 each. Okay, I'm gonna buy 32. I know this is extremely expensive, but I want to see if this stays green. So I have every single type of grass block here. We're gonna find out if any of these actually stay green. I really hope one of them do. So burnt grass goes blue, that grass goes blue, full grass is blue, moss is green. Hell yeah. Oh, so is deep grass. And this one. Okay. So we have 3 options. I'm going to go with this, the deep grass. Oh, that is amazing. Holy camoli. I thought I was going to have blue grass. I was going to cry myself to sleep. But I can make, it was deep grass, right? Yes, heck yeah. We'll go all 167. Oh my goodness, this is going to be massive. So let's go ahead and remove some of these dirt blocks around the edge and we'll add in this deep grass. Oh man, this is so good. I'm so glad I could get green grass. I don't know why it goes blue. It's so weird, but I can fill this entire area in. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so good, guys. Now I am going to keep my stone path all the way around the edge. I think it makes a lot of sense. But have a look at that. Now that we've got the grass in here, we've got the sandstone, all that I need to do is grab some water, which I have right here. I believe this should be an infinite block of water. Hell yeah, look at this. Oh my days. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Usually water in Hytale is an absolute nightmare to work with, but because of this infinite water block, I can just place as much as I want. And this is so good, man. I really hope it looks good as it goes over the edge of the island. We're about to find out though. I hope it doesn't look too tacky. Alrighty, let's go over here and have a look. Okay, that kind of looks nice. I don't mind that. A little bit weird because of how far down it goes, but it's gonna have to do for now, alright? I really like having this stream of water through here. It looks really good, man. But of course, we got to fill the water in on this way as well. And there we go. Absolutely phenomenal. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my days. Okay, so next thing that I want to do is grab some of these. I'm thinking of using some regular pebbles. So if we go into auction, is there any rubble for sale? Oh, it's not looking good. I think the only way to get rubble is in here for $30 each. So let me grab 200. This is going to be pricey. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's fine. We got to make the island look good, all right? We're going to grab all for pebbles. That gives us 68. Let's close the door and dig out a par. Oh no, we can't place pebbles because we need to have dirt underneath. Okay, hold on a minute. That's perfectly fine. We have it right here. So I can grab this cobblestone, place the cobblestone underneath, then add the pebbles on top, just like that. And we'll be able to create a nice little bridge all the way across. And we'll just have this connect to the stone on the outside. Add in all the pebbles, and there we go. The pebbles are in. Now, I don't love this. Let's delete that. Now, the reason I'm doing it like this is because I would like to have the bridge even, which is going to require some of these slabs. I can place them like this and just create a very, very basic bridge. It doesn't have to be crazy. That looks fine for me, okay? Beautiful. Then I can replace the rest with some grass and really start getting this place looking fantastic. Of course, there's not all going to be grass. I do want like little fields of crops. So I'll plow up some land. It's going to be very small, but I think it's going to be very nice just to have these little farms in here. I mean, I do think I do have a bit of an addiction to farming in this game because I'm always trying to add farms in everywhere, and I'm always trying to do a bit of farming here and there. I mean, farming in this game is so much better than Minecraft, and I've always loved farming in Minecraft, so I guess it makes sense. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, this place is really coming together now that we're fixing up the ground around everywhere. Now, what other decorations do we have? We have some bushes. So let me buy 10 of these. Let me buy 10 ferns. Let me buy 10 of each of the flowers. I know we're spending so much money right now, but I promise it's definitely going to be worth it. I hope. We'll grab some grass as well. Oh my goodness, look at all of these crops that we just got. Not crops, decorations. I definitely think it's worth the money though, because we can chuck these around just to add so much life to the area, especially around this little river. There has to be a lot of flowers and beautiful things, you know, hanging around the river because there's water, the source of life. I've been so excited to do this part. I've been waiting this entire time to be able to start going crazy on these details, man. I'm so happy to be doing this now and finally getting this island looking absolutely phenomenal. I really think it's starting to come together so nice. Oh, there's a lot of flowers around here. Maybe I should chill out a little bit. I think I might have got a little bit overboard. Goodness me. You know what? You can never have too many flowers, all right? Get some grass in. Oh, the grass is blue. Yeah, that's not going to work. Bit too blue there, buddy. Chuck a bush in there. What about moss? What color is moss? Okay, moss stays green. I guess we'll chuck some of that in and around. Oh, looks like the trees are growing. That is good. That is very good to see. However, I do need to get some leaves. So I need to get shears, which I can make in here, right? Yes, for 1 iron ingot. So if we go into the auction, is anyone selling shears? No. Is anyone selling iron? They are. Beautiful. Let me grab one of them. Then I can grab some shears. Yoink. Now I can go over to my tree farm right at the back and just start stealing a bunch of these leaves. I love using leaves to decorate areas, both in Minecraft and Hytale. There's such a nice diverse block that you can use so easily to add in very nice details literally everywhere, especially when you're building like farms and nice, beautiful, luscious areas, gardens and stuff like that. They just work so well. There we go. We have 40. Let's see what we can do with this. One thing that I love doing is throw in some leaves in and around the farms just to kind of section them off a little bit, make them feel like they're supposed to be there. We can add a bit of moss as well. They're like smaller versions of the leaves, and why not some ferns and little bits of flower. Man, this is so beautiful. I love how it's all coming together. You can even add like flowers in and around the buildings. Not the flowers, sorry, the leaves. You can add these around the buildings, and I think it just looks fantastic. Such an easy way to add a nice level of detail into your builds. But of course, I still need to go ahead and fix up all of this entire area. There's so much grass that needs planted down. I am so happy that I was able to find this green grass because I was scared that I was going to have blue grass, man. That would have not been fun. Well, we'll add our little bits and pieces in here. Man, this is really coming together so nice. I reckon I'll get another farm in here because this is such a big area. However, this time I want to use some fences. So we'll grab the oak logs and we'll craft up some hardwood fences. 40 should be enough. We'll go ahead and place down a couple random bushes just to figure out the size, and then we'll fill the rest of these walls of this farm in using these fences, just connecting up to these leaves that I just placed in. Okay, these fences annoyingly didn't want to work. That's perfectly fine. We can fix it up like that, and we'll just go like this and like that. Beautiful. Hell yeah, dude. Actually, I might create a little entrance here, just like that. And of course, we'll plow up the land in here. Let's plant in lettuce because we didn't get a chance to have a lettuce farm in any of the other sections. So we'll just plant them in here. Beautiful. Now I am going to require even more of this deep grass. 157, that should keep us going for a bit. And I want to connect a path up to this farm here with the pebbles. Just like that. And then I just have to go through and replace a bunch of this dirt with the deep grass. I would also like to get some trees in here. So let's see, we can make some oak trees. What other trees? We can maybe make some birch trees. I might as well make some beech trees as well. So I guess we can plant one right here behind the house, a beech tree, then an oak, a birch, and we can add some more trees over into this big section here, just like that. I think that should be pretty nice. Might as well just add another one right here, just because trees are beautiful. Hopefully they grow and look good. If not, then that's going to be kind of sad. Man, that tree's grown huge. Oh my goodness. That is an enormous tree. Alrighty. Alright, but I have 115 deep grass. I'm going to go through, make sure I replace all this dirt. With that, add in a bunch more flowers to this front side, and we'll see how this is looking when that's done. Definitely some minor tedious work, but it definitely just needs to get done. I need to grind it out and get this whole place looking very nice, very consistent, and very beautiful. So I will see you guys when that is all done. At least the 94 deep grass remaining. And this is what we're looking like now. This is really coming together very quickly. Now, I did have some trees over here, but obviously when I was removing the dirt, they exploded. So I got to be very careful. I don't want to lose any more trees because I like the ones that we have. However, I do need to make some more deep grass. We can make 38. But now my issue is plant fiber. Let's purchase another 100 plant fiber, make a bunch more deep grass, which gets us 138. Now, I dug this path out here so I could add some more pebbles in because this area over here seemed way too open, so I wanted to add something in. And what better than a farm? So let's go ahead and plow up some land. I kind of pre-planned the shape of this, so I know roughly how large I want it. Something like that is going to be fantastic. It's a very big farm, but I wonder what crops we're missing. Ooh, cauliflower. We don't have that. We don't have rice or onion. Let's go with cauliflower because out of all three, I think cauliflower is going to look the best. So we'll get this planted in. Ooh, I am going to need a bit more. Hold on a second. Hopefully 20 will be enough. Oh my goodness, I'm short again. I need another 5. There we go. I got 6. But that's all planted in. And now I can go ahead and add the grass that we just made into this remaining section. Once again, I don't want to go too close to this tree because it's going to pop. And I don't really want it to pop because I like this tree. I feel like that's in a very good spot. So I'll make sure to give it enough space to keep it happy and just remove all the rest of this dirt in front of it, because the main thing is making sure the build looks good from the front. I don't really care too much about the back right now. We just need the island to look good from the one angle, obviously for the thumbnail. But there we go. That's the grass field in here. I think there's a little bit over here I can add in as well. Once again, I don't want to pop this tree, so we're only going to go up to here. But all of this dirt here is fair game. I can go ahead and change this. And you can see I've got 60 oak leaves. I got a bunch from the trees and I replanted them to get the leaves growing back. Hopefully they can look a little bit more full because they were looking pretty dead after I got to them. But we'll add some of these along the edge here. And why not add some more fences for this one? I think that'll look nice. So once again, go in with the oak and we'll just create a ring around this entire thing. Oh my goodness, the cauliflower just grew because it is no longer nighttime. There we go. That's all the fences added in. I can add some more bushes and things around here to make it a little bit nicer. Maybe some more dandelions. Oh, I've got stone rubble I can place down too. That'll be very nice. Oops, I just broke one of my pedals. Let me buy some more of this because I think it looks nice. Having some bits of stone just really makes the whole area feel so much more natural. So I really enjoy adding these in. It is a pity that I can't use the regular short grass or normal grass because, you know, it looks weird. It goes blue. So I am a little bit sad about that, but that's perfectly fine. It is what it is. I think we've been able to do a fantastic job anyway. Like, this place is looking beautiful, man. Compared to what this looked like not too long ago, this is such a massive difference. Just seeing this area now, man, not too long ago, this was such an ugly island, and now it's looking fantastic. We have a beautiful river running right through. We have an awesome building right in the middle. We have a bunch of cute little farms, which used to be just a massive field of potatoes. We have some nice borders around all of our islands, which we now have 4 of. We have some big, beautiful trees in the middle of our crop fields, and we have the money making arms connecting the crop fields to the trees. And I really like this little thing here. This looks fantastic. I love it, man. But seriously, I really like how this has turned out. I think it's looking fantastic, man. I honestly didn't think it was going to turn out this good, and I'm so happy that it has. I think it's pretty much as good as it can get, at least with the shapes and stuff that we've done. But I'm definitely very happy with how this has all come together, and I hope you guys are too. Now, like I said at the start, this video is sponsored by Hyblock. This is the first sponsorship I've ever done. This is the first one that I thought I would actually enjoy, and I don't want to just do them if I don't think that I'll like it or if I don't think it's good. I've had an unbelievable amount of fun playing on this server, so if you guys do want to check it out, the link of course will be in the description, so you too can also join this server and have a bunch of fun and potentially even walk around the island for yourself. Now, this is the first time I've ever done a Skyblock video on Minecraft or Hytale, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't got a huge amount of experience building in this style where I have to literally create everything, but I've had so much fun trying to be as creative as possible and create something that looks unique. And I truly believe that I've been able to achieve that. I do think this thing is looking fantastic. I love it so much. I don't really know what else I could have done to make it even better. Of course, adding more islands and expanding it in different ways is going to be the next thing that we could do. So let me know down below if you do want to see a continuation of this, if you want to see more of this world and see where we can take it from here. I don't really know what else to do. We could just, I guess, add even more islands and more structure and builds, I guess. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure hit that like button. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe so that you're notified next time I upload. This has been an absolute blast playing through this Skyblock. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate you being here all the way up until the end. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.